Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Brothers and sisters, this morning I'll continue with talking on the striking finding in the Quran after reading the Quran from page 1 to page 70. So look at the category of we decide on the striking finding. So the category that we had used was to find the most common word or expression repeated many times on the pages of the Quran. So we have gone through several already, and this morning I'd like to suggest on the expression selling and buying of guidance at the expense of guidance. What it is, the people who are involved in selling and buying the guidance at the cheap price. What it is, maybe it ends up with they getting rich, getting money, power, but then they buy guidance at a cheap price, and they sell guidance at a cheap price at the expense that maybe their intention was to cheat others so that others don't get the guidance, but they have not realized that while doing they are also cheating themselves. So this expression is often seen in the Quran, buying and selling guidance at a cheap price. So what this result in? This result in the propagation of teaching that is unguided, and also in the Quran there are many sentences saying the unguided claim they are the guided one. Many times I've seen these sentences in the Quran. The unguided claim they are the guided one, and they accuse the guided one are not guided. They are the one that are guided. This is seen in the real story. Even during the Prophet time, a group of Christians came to see the Prophet, and they asked the Prophet to endorse their religion or their belief. The Prophet refused to endorse. They insist that their religion was the right one. But Prophet was saying no. The teaching that Prophet brought in was the right one. So they keep telling that they were the right one, this Christian, and then in the end, Prophet invite them to pledge oath, inviting curse of Allah to those that were wrong. So this invitation is like both the Christian, the Prophet, and the Muslim pray together to Allah and ask for direction from Allah. The direction will be if the party that was wrong or not right or unguided will get the curse right away, meaning we don't know what would happen. It could be their life were at stake. So what happened was this Christian was scared to do what the Prophet had suggested. So they went away empty-handed. So this kind of thing where people who are unguided accuse people who are guided being unguided. So it happened today. So you see it happened today among the people who claim they are Muslims. As I said before, Prophet Muhammad was saying in the future Islam will be branched into 72 branches. All will go to hell except one that is safe from going to hell is the one that follow the Prophet, is known as Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Talking about selling and buying guidance at a cheap price had occurred during the Prophet time. There was a learned Muslim that can do the teaching to the people who are new to Islam. At the time, the population or the new convert in Saudi Arabia was increasing, but they live far away from the prophets. So what Prophet did was he chose a person, a teacher, to go to these people who live quite far away to teach them Islam. So of course this teacher was teaching Islam in a far area from Medina. So what happened was, there was a person in that area who claimed to be a prophet. So as I told you, there are many people who were jealous of Prophet Muhammad being chosen as the prophet. So it was not a surprise that other people also wanting to claim that they were chosen people as a prophet too. So actually, people who claim the prophet in Saudi Arabia, the time of Prophet Muhammad, were numerous, meaning numerous, like 12 different people who claim that they were prophets. So this teacher who was sent to this place to teach the people, and there were among them a person who claimed that he was a prophet, bribed this teacher to tell his people that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam had said to him that this person is also a prophet. So this teacher took the money. Instead of opposing him, he took the money and started to teach the people in that area that his paymaster was the prophet. So the people in the area, of course, because he was sent to the area by the prophet, and easy for the people in the area be cheated to believe that the person was the prophet. So this kind of teaching, of course, is the unguided, and will end the people who believe such teaching in hell. So this is the case of buying and selling guidance at the expense of bad life in the thereafter. So, brothers and sisters, that was at the time of when Prophet was still around. So nowadays, in the modern world, we do have the equivalent, and I told you about the Shia, the deviation, and another deviation which comes strongly in the Islamic world today is the Wahabi. Actually, the Wahabi teaching had started in Saudi Arabia too, by the person who was an Arab too. So why this occur? Okay, we have to look back in the Quran, in the beginning of in the beginning story of the creation of Adam. There was Satan or Iblis, who had disobeyed order, refused to prostrate in front of Adam, whilst the angel was prostrating, but this Satan had refused, and Allah wanted to send him to hell. And then this Satan asked for delay to live with human being on earth and give him the opportunity to drag as much as possible the human being to hell with them. How he did this? He can go inside human body and whisper to the heart of man. So it has to do with that as well, the influence of Satan on human being. So this Wahabi was actually started by a man whose father was a learned man, a learned Muslim. He had a brother who was also a learned Muslim. So he was in the family of the learned Muslim. So that make him easy also to have the influence on others, being the family of the learned Muslim. Of course, Satan will always be tempting him. His father was a learned man, his brother was a learned man. So about him, he started to teach differently. He was influenced by another teacher who had harsh outlook. So he feel that being harsh is a good thing. Of course, the influence of Satan was there, I could imagine Satan was whispering to him, "You are clever, you are clever, you are clever than your brother, you are clever than your father." So that create a boost his ego to put forward his teaching, which was harsh, and thinking that he was right and others is wrong. That's what I believe happened in the whispering of Satan to the heart of man. It's just, you can just imagine of thing that happened. So it's the ego, of course. Man has ego, and when it is got out of control, it become extreme. So it was extreme. So the teaching of Wahabi in the end was saying the teaching of majority of Islam, like wal sunnah, ahlul sunnah wa jama'ah, is wrong. This is wrong, and they like to say that others are unbelievers. So accusing of the main teaching of Islam are unbelievers. So they are the believers. So that's it. Actually, that kind of thinking or expression is mentioned in the Quran many times. So you see the truth of the Quran. Amazing. The truth of the Quran is appearing. You see it in actuality in the world, and you see the Wahabi teaching is a threat to Islam. Of course, this teaching of Wahabi had sponsored. So who sponsored these people? Must be the unbelievers as well, because at that time the unbelievers politics in country was strong. So they had influence as well. So it's a mix of politics and interest. Of course, when they were sponsored, they were given money, maybe power as well. So it's quite it's a threat, and it's the enemy as well. Of course, Allah is saying many times in the Quran, Satan is your enemy. Many times it's mentioned Satan is our real enemy. and they are also followers of Satan. So what I'm telling you is the truth of the Quran. What the Quran or Allah is saying is happening in this world that you see even today. Thank you very much for listening.